Thanks, Andy. 5:32. Good morning, everyone. Breaking news from overseas this morning. A ceasefire will begin in eastern Ukraine at midnight Saturday local time. That's 3 in the afternoon on Saturday our time. The leaders of Russia, Ukraine, France, and Germany reaching the ceasefire deal after about 15 hours of talks in Minsk, the capital of Belarus. Russia's President Vladimir Putin does say, though, a number of key issues remain unresolved for him, including the location of the border between Ukraine and Russia, the rights of native Russians in eastern Ukraine, and the withdrawal of troops and heavy weapons. Since April, more than 5,300 people have died in the conflict between Ukrainian forces and Russian-backed separatists. Back in our country, the body of missing Sergeant Mark Celeste has been found. Now, the military search and rescue technician was located in about 3 meters of snow in Banff National Park 1 week ago exactly today. Celeste was swept away by an avalanche while training during an ice climb in an area known as the Polar Circus. Search crews finding the body of Sergeant Celeste early yesterday afternoon. Celeste's mother, Liz Quinn, says she's relieved her son was found now and not in spring. She says she's also comforted by the fact she knows her son was doing what he loved when he died. It's now 5:34. The arts communities in Alberta and in Saskatchewan are mourning the loss of 4 artists killed in a crash this week near Regina. 58-year-old Michael Green is among the victims of the crash. Michael was an integral part of Calgary's theatre scene and co-founder of One Yellow Rabbit. Also killed in the crash, 60-year-old Narcisse Blood, a First Nations teacher and filmmaker in southern Alberta. The other 2 victims are from Saskatchewan, Lacey Moran Desjardins and Michelle Sereda. The 4 were killed in a 3-vehicle crash on Tuesday this week. Michael Green was in Saskatchewan at the time, working on a project about Treaty 7.
They weren't releasing any names, and I just called the RCMP in Regina and told him that I was the next of kin, which I'm not, but I'm kind of his brother. So they told me.
No one encapsulates for me what Calgary is all about than Michael. The spirit of Michael is the spirit of Calgary. He was curious, an explorer, and he was a visionary.
A 5th victim of the crash, by the way, near Regina is a 59-year-old man from a small town just north of the capital of Saskatchewan. In about 10 minutes from now in entertainment, how Calgary's arts community is remembering Michael Green this morning and details on the legacy that he leaves behind. It's now 5:35. A manhunt is underway right now after a prisoner escaped from custody in BC. The man who escaped is in jail currently, or at least he was, for firebombing a townhouse in Calgary, killing 2 young children. Michael Douglas Sheets, 44 years of age, is who escaped. He got away during an escorted absence from prison on Vancouver Island. Michael Sheets is serving a 15-year sentence for manslaughter and arson for his role in a firebombing plot for hire. In 2004, the former crack addict threw a rock and flaming Molotov cocktails into a home in the southeast community of Applewood. A 5-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl died in the explosion and fire. The children's mother jumped from a 2nd-story window to escape the flames. Mounties are finally talking about the issue of seizing guns in High River during the flood in June of 2013. A watchdog group says Mounties improperly took the guns from homes threatened by the flooding Highwood River. In about 20 minutes from now, why the guns were seized in the first place and the changes that will be made for the future. This time next year, 1,000 Calgarians, a quarter of Shaw's workforce in our city, will be out of a job as Shaw Communications closes its call center in Calgary. On top of that, 400 people getting pink slips in Edmonton, 200 more in Kelowna. In total, 1,600 workers are out of work. The employees losing their jobs. They apparently help customers with internet, Wi-Fi, digital phone, and video service issues. Shaw says this is not about cutting costs, but Shaw says the move is aimed at making the company's customer service department better. Premier Jim Prentice believes the call center closures are an example of the financial challenges facing our province.
Obviously, we are saddened and disappointed. This will be a difficult circumstance for people who are affected, and certainly we will work hard as a government to deal with the transition.
First, we'd like to offer them the chance to relocate with their role to one of the expanding call centers, where we're offering to help them with a moving package of $7,500 to assist that decision. The second option we're saying is if you want to apply for a role in the current center you're in, then they're free to do so.
Shaw says despite the job losses, it says it is committed to keeping all of the call centers it has in our country and will not be moving any jobs out of Canada.